This is Buddy Cooper, live, director of The Mutilator, and you're listening to us on Without Your Head, Internet Radio.
All right, and we're back here at the station of decapitation without your head. And I already introduced myself, but I'm still Nasty Neil, and now I'm joined by James Balsamo. How are you doing?
Hey, everybody, James Balsamo here. You know, I see you really stuck your neck out having me on this show. That's a decapitated head joke.
Nice. He's starting right away with the puns.
The
So does that just come naturally to you? I see it in your movies, but is that just who you are in general?
You know, it's a gift and a curse.
Uh-huh.
You know, so.
Yeah, I might be the one cursed tonight if I have to listen to it for a long time.
Have you seen all of the Curse movies? That's the true Curse. Curse 1 through 4.
I
don't
am
know if
not
you're familiar with that series, but it's an 80s horror series. The Curse 1 through 4. Mm-hmm. That is an intense movie day. So if you guys are up for a challenge for bad movies, watch The Curse 1 through 4.
Well, I know you're not here to talk about The Curse 1 through 4, but maybe you are. I don't know. But what are the Curse movies about? I'm not even familiar with them. I feel like a terrible horror host right now.
Oh my God! So it's actually one of those wacky franchises where it starts off with a meteor and an alien and like some religious undertones, but then by the time you get to the second movie, it's like a snake hand monster. It's ridiculous, and then it just it's everywhere. It just goes all over the place. The guy has a killer snake for a hand. That's his curse. That's the Curse 2, Electric Boogaloo. I don't know what it's called, but Curse movie is ridiculous. Nevertheless, I have nothing to do with the Curse, but it's a fun, cheesy 80s horror movie watch, which is what inspired some crazy Acid Bath Productions films, which I do make. So
yeah, I have always been a proponent, real quick, before we get into your films, that every sequel should just be called Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, exactly.
Every part 2, right? And every third movie should be in 3D.
Of course. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. So right off the bat there, you said it is something that inspired you. So was it movies like that and other movies that made you want to become a movie maker? And what age did you decide that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so I've been acting since I was 8 because I had always wanted to be like a Jason Voorhees kind of character. And I went to acting schools like Lee Strasberg in Manhattan and Professional Performing Arts High School. That's the Fame movie school. Fame, you know. But I just really wanted to make horror movies. So in college, I went to film school, and I've been making movies ever since with worldwide distribution. I just finished shooting my 7th feature film, The Lich. That's got Tom Sizemore in it, and E.G. Daily. Dick Warlock is in the movie, and me. Dave Stein is the Lich, and it's real fun, kind of wizard demon character. It's awesome. It's fun. It's wacky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boobs in it, gore, wacky monsters. It's got everything in it. It's got everything. So.
I did bring up the Lich with the last guest, Rick Chandler, because he's also in the movie, I understand. And I asked him, he wasn't sure, so I have to ask you, does that come from D&D? Because I don't know of liches outside of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a huge D&D fan back in the day.
It's actually it's like an old mythos. I just like the kind of character that it was, and I bastardized it. So it's spelled completely different from what the Lich actually is, and there's like weird nods to mysticism and Satanism, and it's just wacky, and it's all over the place, and it's fun. There's zombies in it, and monsters from the astral plane. It's just wacky. It's wacky, wacky, wacky.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons or Adventure Time, because that was a character. The Lich was a bad guy in that cartoon show, but it has nothing to do with any of that stuff. It's just, I thought it was cool that you could have like a wizard and he's a zombie. And I was like, well, I know what I'm doing next.
Exactly. It's very powerful because as a D&D aficionado back in the 80s, that was I believe the highest you could get to the cleric character could turn the undead, and like skeletons and zombies they had an easy time with. But the Lich was way up at the top, so that was
right.
most powerful.
Yeah, that character is a necromancer, and that's why I worked that into the movie. Because who doesn't love zombies? I mean, I do. I mean, I've got zombies in my first film, Cool as Hell, which I'm doing the sequel to now, Cool as Hell 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm kidding. It's called Cool as Hell 2, The Quest for God's Bond. So
I thought it'd be cooler as hell.
Right. You know, that one's got Phil Balsamo in it from Pantera, Brian Johnson and Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men, and Nikolai Volkov from WWE Hall of Fame. And
very cool.
So many other guys. Yeah, check that out at Acid Bat Productions.
I hope I don't offend you. I didn't bring up something. Maybe it's a negative thing. Did you have any issues with Laurence Harvey in the first Cool as Hell?
You know what? I didn't. I think Laurence is cool. I think he was confused. You know what I mean on what was going on. So I don't know. He's in the movie. We got a release from Laurence, and I think Laurence was confused that he was in the movie, but he's in it. So,
yeah, no, it's fine. I just had to bring it up. I'm friends with Laurence, and he brought it once up on the show. So,
yeah, no, I know he was like, I'm not in that movie, and I was like, yeah, you are. We filmed for it, and you signed a release and took photos. I don't know why he was so confused about it, but you know, Laurence liked the party, so
yeah. No. Speaking of cameos, now I just watched Killer Waves, and there's lots of cameos and lots of cool ones. Conrad Brooks, Phil Balsamo, as you mentioned, or some of them even a little longer than a cameo. But my all-time favorite part in Killer Waves is Joel M. Reed. That is, it's extremely creepy, which I wouldn't expect anything less from Joel Reed. He's the man. But I just watched that part of the movie with a huge smile on my face. So.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Joel and I have been friends for probably almost 10 years now. He's in 4 of my other films, and I love Joel. He could still party. He comes out to when we have screenings and stuff like that. And Joel's awesome. Yeah. And he's just an amazing filmmaker, and he's just such a sweet guy. And you know, he's a great friend to have, and he's a fucking creep in that movie, which is amazing. Which really, I think, adds to Killer Wave.
I'm sure Joe won't mind, but before we met Joel, I kind of envisioned him as he is in character in that movie. But he's a very sweet guy in real life. He's not anything like that.
Yeah. Of course, he plays it up like you know, he knows the character and he plays it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. It's just a real cheap plug. We have in my opinion, a great video series, Our Dinner with Joel, which is like a 15-part video segment where we have dinner with Joel and he tells us all crazy stories, and people can check that out on YouTube. I myself is a huge fan of Joel Reed, and Bloodsucking Freaks is the amazing movie.
I love that movie and GI Executioner, which I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for. That movie, they do. That's a great B action movie, which like nobody ever talks about. But you know, of course, Bloodsucking Freaks is brilliant.
Yeah. So, Killer Waves, for people not familiar yet, can you give them an idea of what Killer Waves is?
Of course. Killer Waves is about a killer killing surfers to make a human flesh surfboard. Surfs up, lights the beach, and then you die. So, Killer Waves is about this character in an old diving suit known as the Unholy Diver, which, of course, is a Dio nod. And the killer tells puns, you know. If they stab somebody with a spear, they say, "Spear today, gone tomorrow."
Yeah, I actually took some notes of some of the puns. It eels like the first time. I bet you never saw this coming. So I do have a question about the Unholy. We'll have a few questions, but the look of the Unholy Diver. Is any of the basis of the Unholy Diver from an old Scooby-Doo cartoon?
You know what? I get that question all the time.
Really?
Funny. Oh. It's not, but I do love that episode, and I love Scooby-Doo monsters. I think the character design was just awesome in that. But it's like based off of the old, aquatic fish tank, little diver in the tank. And I was like, well, I love skull faces. The unholy diver has a skull face and a little porthole on the mask.
Where did you get the helmet? Is this something you had, or is it you had to go and seek one out?
No, yeah, it was custom made.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, we're doing a sequel too. So, well, it's not officially announced yet, but word on the street is there's a sequel, Killer Waves 2, Electric Boogaloo.
So who comes up with these puns? Do they just come to you, or do you have to sit and think of puns?
No, you know what? I actually wrote a book of puns.
Really?
It's called James Balsamo's Total Punishment, and it's a kid's book. It's got 100 bad jokes in it. And, I just sat down, wrote a book, and the other ones, they just come out of the sky. They just fall right into my hands. Like, you want to hear a joke?
Yeah, let's hear one.
You know what? You know why the zebra got kicked out of the horse bar?
No.
3 stripes and you're out. Don't expect the pony to laugh at that joke. It's a little horse.
When I was in chess club, my big joke was you would take the 2 knights, which are horses, people don't know, and you'd kind of have it like they were humping each other, and you'd say, "This is how zebras are made."
Nice.
Yeah, it was really over with the.
You were in chess club. I see you have a checkered past.
I do indeed.
Yeah. See, they just come natural. It's a curse, really. The curse 1 through 4. Go see it.
Yeah, I could see how being around you in person would get old really quick. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so old. They just run. You know what I mean? After 4 puns, they're out of there. You know.
So,
but it's good. I have a good turnover rate.
Yeah. How many different weapons are used?
Oh, offhand, I don't know. Let's see. There's a spear. There's a trident, not the gum, the pointy thing, and a chainsaw, and an eel, and
crabs,
buried
I
up
guess,
to their neck, and they're covered in crabs. Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. There's a lot of kills. There's a jigsaw that's used.
Mm-hmm.
Some power tools.
How hard is it to get the shot of the crab where he's kind of
oh my
doing
God,
his claws
those crabs were so angry. That anybody knows the actress Tara Noodleman was terrified, and so was I, of these live crabs. So we bought these edible crabs from a seafood store, and the guy was like, "Yeah, they're pretty frozen. You should be fine for the shot." And I was like, "Okay, great." So we take them out of the bag. We get to the beach, and these things are so angry. They were in a pinch. Yeah, I was almost in a pinch. It was, I was crabby afterwards, really.
I guess I'd be pretty pissed if I was just frozen and then I'm thawed out.
Right, and you're like, what? I don't want to be in a movie. I don't want to be a movie star crab.
Exactly.
But, we saved those crabs' lives. We let them go, and they were going to be eaten, but now they're one with the beach, so I'm sure one is all the way to Hawaii by now. We filmed that last year, so.
Yeah. Now, if you think about it, they shouldn't have been pissed off. They should have been a lot more appreciative.
I know, ungrateful crabs.
Yeah, those fuckers. No wonder they freeze them. But
that's right.
This is a true story. When I was a kid, it's got really nothing to do with anything. But my uncle's a fisherman, and he used to get crabs. I live on the Cape Cod, so a lot of fish and stuff. And he would get crabs for bait for other fish. And I don't know why, but he had them in a big bucket, and the bucket somehow got knocked over in my house, and then there was crabs all over the house, and we had to go and gather them all up.
That's a horror movie right there.
Yeah, they weren't quite as big as the ones you had, but they were still very
Neil
pissed
versus
off.
the crab.
Yeah. Maybe that could be your next movie.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Yeah. Do you keep any of the props from your movies?
Oh, yeah, I keep all the props. I have the 10-foot two-headed bat with 2 boobs from my movie Bite School.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them, I have I have a whole storage space with these giant monsters, and sometimes I bring them back and have little homages throughout the films of other characters and stuff like that. But, becomes a hassle filling a room with fake heads.
Don't I know it? But
Yeah.
I was happy to see the Kaufmans from Atomic Cotton in Killer
Oh my
Waves.
God, love the Kaufman.
Uh-huh.
James and Kaufman, ding. That's our sitcom. So it's the Kaufman, and then I come over, and that's the theme song. James and the Kaufman, ding.
What, is it easier to kill him on camera because you don't really have to show like the neck being split because you can just kind of show like a knife going into the beard?
Yeah, that's actually how I came up with that. We were hanging out at the Atomic Cotton Studios, and I was like, oh, how are we going to kill Zach? Oh, he's got a big beard. I guess he's going to get stabbed in the throat. and of course, Eric has that great scene where Applesauce, the cat, eats her blood off of her face.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite. Shout out to Applesauce, the cat.
Yes.
This one's for you, Saucy.
Do they ever help with any of the merchandise?
Yeah, Atomic Cotton prints a lot of my T-shirts, and they're awesome. So go to Atomic Cotton for your great Acid Bath Productions T-shirts. Mm-hmm. And Eric actually did a T-shirt design for the movie Cool as Hell that I did.
Oh,
she
nice.
did like a Garbage Kids as the demon in like a little diaper, and there's like a little bong on the shirt with Bougar, the talking snot from hell, on it. It's cute. I love it.
Yeah. Now, who does the like the art? Because like the cover art, you know, the poster art, and the different designs are really well made.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I use all different artists like Jeff Zorno and Alejandro Pyramalis. He's the dude from Greece. And then Alejandro colors it. He does like a black and white hardline sketch, and then Bob East colors it. And Bob's a great guy.
They're very cool.
So, it's, like I said, movies take so much work, and there's so many people involved. It's like a never-ending wheel good.
Mm-hmm. Do you wear an Hawaiian shirt in the Lich?
I don't. I wear like a flannel shirt. I wear a Hawaiian shirt in Cool as Hell and Cool as Hell 2, and Killer Waves. I wear a Hawaiian shirt. I like Hawaiian shirts.
I do too.
I'm gonna, I like to get laid, so.
Actually, Erica Kaufman sent this in. Why is James Balsamo so magical, and when will we begin shooting James and the Kaufmans?
Oh, soon, I hope. I attest the magicalness to sugar.
Mm-hmm. It's a very sweet
I eat a
man.
lot of candy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Derek wants to know, what is the most amount of filming you've done in a single year?
Ooh. How does that break down? Like per day or like a lot? I think I don't know. I think it's this year. I think I'm shooting three features this year. So probably 2017. The most filming I think I've done.
So what are the three features besides we got the Lich?
Yep, we got the Lich. There's Cool as Hell 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there's The Sword and the Stoner.
Mm.
It's a barbarian comedy about a guy who goes into it's like Deathstalker and meets weed. That's the best way I can put it. It's like stop motion. We have this like Swedish animator.
I'm a huge fan of stop motion. So.
What'd you say?
I'm a huge fan of stop motion. It's always a kick whenever I see it in something current.
Yeah, it's a process. I love it though. I'm really not a fan of CGI, so I always hire like 2D artists or stop motion or puppets. I do like animatronics myself, so I always try to have like a wacky robot or some kind of practical effects.
Yeah. I really love the animation of I'm sorry, what were the three then? It was the Lich, Cool as Hell 2, and what was the third one?
The Sword and the Stoner.
Yeah. You mentioned what was the movie you mentioned it was kind of like?
Deathstalker.
I think Deathstalker 2 is the highlight of the franchise.
Yeah, I love all of them. It's funny, they recycle that party scene in all of them. There's a scene where they go into this dance hall.
So
and it's the same shot from the first movie. It's great. I love B-roll.
Yeah. Have you ever done that in your films, recycle some footage?
Oh, yeah. I don't do it often, but, I have a lot of airplane B-roll, like, shots from the sky or, helicopter footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
The animation for Acid Bat Productions is great. Who did that?
You.
Yeah.
Brittany McGowan is her name, and she did that for my first film, Patch Up, which has the late Otis Rungus from Guar, Dave Brockie in it, Boyd Kaufman, Lynn Lowry, Debbie Rashawn. So yeah, she had done that for my first film. And funny story, I don't think I've ever told this story before. The Acid Bath Productions logo is actually a mistake, which changed the company name forever. I was making movies under a company called Acid Bath Pictures, and I had hired Brittany to do the logo, and she wrote Acid Bath Productions in the cartoon, and it looked so cool, I said, fuck it. And from then on, Acid Bath Pictures became Acid Bath Productions, the company you know and love today.
Yeah.
So thanks, Brittany.
Very cool. When you first said it was an accident, I thought maybe like you had named it Bubble Bath Productions, and then like, I don't know why this woman's dissolving. I guess we'll just change it to Acid Bath.
Right. I'd tell a joke about a bathtub, but it's really draining.
Matthew Fisher, he brought, maybe you'll know the answer. He said, both Rick and yourself are great guys. He doesn't have any dirt on you, but he does have a trivia question. In 2017, these gentlemen appeared in 3 films together. Can you name the 3 films? So I don't know if that's a trivia for you or people listening, but...
Oh, yeah. I don't think I could answer that question. I know Matt Fisher is an associate producer on The Witch, and I love Matt. Matt's a great guy. I'm actually in one of Matt's movies. It's a slasher film called Groundhog, and I get killed in that. It's pretty awesome.
Nice.
So be sure to check that out. Directed by David Maggots. So it's, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the other movies are. I would imagine Groundhog is one of them. If you guys could name the other 2, I'll send you a free digital copy of Killer Waves.
Oh, very cool.
There you go, guys.
Yeah. So Killer Waves are some scenes I have questions about. What's Cooking with Mama and Papa segment? Like, who are these people? Where did that where does this come from?
Cooking with Mama and Papa is my Mama and Papa. Those are my parents.
Very nice.
Those are. I always like to put my parents in my films, and I love Mama and Papa, and
and they love you.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. It was just a fun little filler scene. Yeah. That's funny. Who are these people? Are they?
That's the type of questions you want to hear. Who are these people? But do they watch your movies?
They do, and it's great. My mom loves to help with the process. She's like, that crab scene came from my mom. That was totally her idea. I was like writing kills for the movie, and she was like, you should bury somebody and then put crabs on their head, and then the crabs eat their face. And so that's her. So I got to give her the credit for that.
That's pretty awesome.
That came from Mama. So.
When you said it came from her, I thought maybe it was like something she used to do to you as a child if you were bad.
Yeah, she used to bury me up to my neck, and when I was bad, and put little crabs on my face, and that made me the filmmaker I am today. So thanks.
Were they cool with you watching, weird horror movies as a kid?
Oh yeah, they were actually. The way I got into horror movies was my dad. I watched Friday the 13th, Part 3 on basic cable with my dad, and when that girl gets put on the meat hook, that was it for me. In the barn, I was like, I want to make movies. I want to be that character. Like, that was it.
Mm-hmm. See, that's cool. Because I just think that's cool because I always watched horror movies with my mom since I was a little kid. So people think it's weird, but it turned out totally fine. But yeah.
No, that's why I wrote a kids book, and I love doing horror conventions. And whenever I see a family at a convention, I always like to give the kids something. I say, hey, is it cool if I give them a button or a sticker or something, just to encourage the love of horror? Because that's how it happened to me. My mom took me to the Fangoria convention in New York when I was like 9, and Demon Knight came out. And so they actually took me back to the midnight screening of Demon Knight in Manhattan, nice. And Dick Miller was there, and that changed my life. So I wouldn't be, making movies if it wasn't for that moment. So, parents, if your kids love horror, support it, because they could make bad movies someday. And do an interview with Neil.
Yeah, they could do an interview on a bad podcast. No,
right.
It's a great podcast.
A great podcast.
Yeah.
I make great movies. Let's not kid ourselves, Neil. We're amazing.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up. So along the lines of who are these people, I really like the old captain character and the guy that he makes barks. The barks for the sardines, and who are those guys? That's my question.
Okay, yeah, that's Edward X. Young and John Link. Edward X. Young is Diver Bart, and John Link is the fisherman gutter Steve. He guts all the fishes, and John Link is he's a legend in the horror community. He was in Playboy. What's that? Playmate of the Apes. That Cinemax porno spoof.
Yeah.
He's the pink monkey at the end without the face mask on, and he's in a ton of movies, and he's in a ton of my movies. And John Link's amazing, and Edward X. Young is a famous horror actor in his own right. He's Mr. Hush from the movie Mr. Hush.
Right.
And that has Brian O'Halloran in it, and he's the vampire bicycle in that movie Mold, Neil Bashano's Mold. And so yeah, Ed and John are great, and I think they're in almost every movie I did except for Hack Job. So
don't take this as an insult, because I like this about the movie. Is I like when sometimes you could tell the killer's on like a beach, and then the victim is clearly in a totally different location.
Oh yeah,
I get a kick out of that in the movie. Anyway, and I also like the unholy diver cam is what I'm calling it. When you kind of see it from, I don't say his perspective, but you see it from the killer's perspective with like the glove and you get the voice and everything. So besides just the look of the unholy diver, where did all this stuff come from? The voice.
Oh, well, the voice is me actually.
Really?
I voiced I voiced the killer, and it's run through a sound mixer. That's why it tells so many puns. But I love old slashers and old giallo films. I'm a big Italian horror cinephile. So, I love Dario Argento movies, and those old POV shots are straight from there, And what was really cool is one of my favorite slasher films, The Mutilator, the director has a cameo.
I thought that was him. I forget the guy. We had him on the show years ago. What is his name? I like The Mutilator too. I actually have it right here. The Arrow release. What is the Buddy Cooper?
That's him.
Yeah,
that's him.
I have a real quick story about Buddy Cooper. When we had him on the show, this was probably about close to 10 years ago. So it was before the movie was out on DVD or anything. And so he sent me a copy of the movie to watch. And so I watched it, and I didn't think anything of it. And like a few weeks later, he called me up, and he's like, "Can you send that back?" Because it was his only copy of the uncut Mutilator. he just had this one copy of it on the DVD, and so I was like, oh yeah, so I guess if I never sent it back to him, they would have never been able to release the uncut Mutilator.
Wow. You're a hero, Neil. It wasn't for you, the Mutilator.
It is. Anytime I can pat myself on the back, I'm going to bring it up. But I do like the Mutilator. I love the end of Mutilator when the guy's he's cut in half and he still doesn't stop him. It's a great scene.
Yeah. Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Yeah. So how do you get people like Buddy Cooper and Conrad Brooks and all these people? Do you meet them at the conventions or?
No, actually, Conrad Brooks. What was I doing? I was shooting a different movie in Virginia. I was shooting a movie for Brad Twigg, and Edward X. Young told me, hey, give Conrad Brooks a call while you're out there, because they had done some stuff together. And so I had called Conrad, and we met at a pizza store in Virginia. I think it's so funny. A lot of people think, oh, I only get these cameos at horror conventions, but that's not the case at all. So yeah, I had filmed in this pizza store in Virginia. I had wooed this pizza store owner, and so we had filmed with Conrad Brooks for about 3 hours in this pizza store. We had done a cameo for Killer Waves, and he's in the movie I did before that, Bite School. So, and then Conrad Brooks sold me a few of his own movies.
That makes me laugh because I that's happened to me when I've talked to Conrad.
Yeah, so which were great, because I actually really liked this one. It was like an ice cream slasher film where this killer dunks somebody's head in hot fudge, and then while they're on the floor, throws sprinkles on their face. So it's like hot fudge with sprinkles. So yeah, but this week, I filmed with E.G. Daily, and that was in a video store out here. It was a location lockdown, which is a question I get all the time. Like, I do a lot of horror conventions, and I do meet a lot of these other celebrities at shows and talk to them, but it's not like I just only film something at a convention booth. So, but yeah.
Yeah. I really like that in Jan Gal too, that the guy's just like a cardboard cutout of the villain in the first movie. I don't know if you've got that far into the Jan Gal films, but
right.
I think the guy wouldn't come back for whatever reason, and so it's actually a cardboard standee. It's pretty amazing.
Hey, whatever works. I love to tell that story. For my first film, I couldn't get actors to come back for a scene, and so I replaced them with sock puppets. And that film was Hack Job, and that was on cable all over the U.S. and Canada for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So actors, don't be flaky. So, you know what I mean? You want to be an actor, and you're committed to your craft, and you're already in a project. Come to the project, because you'll never know where it could end up.
Yeah. Is it hard to find?
You replaced by sock puppets.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the sock puppets.
Yeah. What were you saying?
I was saying, is it hard to find actresses that are up to getting topless for the films?
You know what? It's not for me. I worked through some modeling agencies and stuff like that, and it's always a really professional situation with nude actresses, and a lot of people think, hey, you're filming boobs, but it's work. It's work like anything else, but I love it. It's the best thing I do.
And you're topless in many of your movies.
I am, yeah. God gave me a gift. I got to show it off.
I did notice in As Cool as Hell, there's a scene where you're eating stuff off each other with a woman, and she almost kind of seemed like she didn't want to, it was like, I don't know what it was, cottage cheese or something off your...
oh my God, the cottage cheese is so terrible. People love to talk about how gross that scene is. It was worse for me. I had cottage cheese all over me. But yeah, she dumps like a can of string beans on my head, and I think she hit me like with like raw chicken on my nipples. Like it was. We filmed a lot of strange food for that scene.
It's a typical Saturday night for James here.
Right, exactly.
So
kids are starving in Ethiopia, and I'm rubbing cottage cheese on them for movies.
You could put it back in and send it to Ethiopia, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. Just like Buddy Cooper. I'll send him a jar, too.
So, are you into surfing at all? Since it's a big part
of
what? Killer Waves.
I'm not. I don't think until the movie was over, I was like, I don't like surfing. I don't like anything about surfing. I saw a document. You know what? I saw a documentary late night. I have terrible insomnia. I saw on surfing, and I was like, oh, that'd be a cool location for a slasher film.
Mm-hmm.
And, you think bikini babes and hot weather, but, you get tripod, you get the sand and the tripod, and it's a fucking nightmare. So I was like, what was I thinking? I could just have women spill cottage cheese on me inside in the room. Why do I need to go to a beach?
So is Killer Waves 2 going to be like about like a mountain or something instead?
Yeah, it's gonna be in a snow lodge, all inside.
I like that idea. He takes up skiing.
Yeah. Did you ever see that slasher film Iced? It's like a shot on video. Yeah, it's like a shot on video ski slasher film.
I don't know. Sometimes movies. I don't remember that one.
Oh yeah, you know what I. I watched some terrible movies. So
I did too. Sometimes they escape me. But I'm looking this up now. I don't remember this one. I don't remember seeing like most people, I would go and rent anything at the VHS store where the cover looked cool. But this one I do not remember. Maybe my VHS store did not carry it.
Yeah, it's not great, but that's what reminded me of that Killer Wave 2 in a ski lodge. That's the premise of life, essentially.
See, I'm helping you out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, where can people find these movies?
Walmart, Target, Best Buy, or go to acidbathproductions.com, and you can get your cool Lich action figure. That's
really?
Right. The Lich has an action figure, and so does the Unholy Diver. So be sure to pick those up. And also, you can find me on Twitter at AcidBathProduct, or find me on Facebook, James Balsamo. I want to be your friend. Neil.
I am your friend.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
We are friends.
Yeah.
We've been friends for a while, Neil.
We have indeed. I think we've met a few times at conventions, too.
We have. I want to say Atlanta?
Probably. Yeah, when I was doing a lot of the Days of the Dead ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, when did you start? Who makes these action figures?
Well, there's a few people, actually. David Arlovsky, the guy that sculpted the original Ninja Turtles action figures and some of the original Star Trek 1990s figures, like the Borgs, did the Lich action figure sculpt, and it's casted and painted by Jacob Siegelbaum, Jacob Jams. So, and Jacob Jams did the Unholy Diver all by himself. So pick those up; they're pretty awesome. Because he doesn't have toys.
I'm looking right now; it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this before, but I really do like the Lich, the logo that's made here. It kind of looks like the Undertaker to me.
Oh yeah, he's a big hat.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when I'm going to a location, I just wear it because it's too big, and it's like all leather, so people just think I'm like a big imp just walking down the street.
Yeah, hats are hard to travel with, because I have a hand-painted top hat that I like to wear at the conventions, hand-painted by Annabelle Lecter, and you basically do just have to wear it like on the plane and everywhere, because you don't want to get it smashed, and then...
right, of course, you got to be committed to the hat.
Yeah.
You're going to take it out, you got to wear it.
One time I was... I'm always getting caught when I'm flying somewhere, because I guess I look like a shady guy or something, but the one time the guy just kept asking me if I was into voodoo and stuff, and I couldn't understand why it would matter if I was. Like, what was I going to do?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I got a voodoo doll of the pilot or something. I don't know. It was very weird.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun having you on the show. And anytime something new's coming out, you're always welcome back on.
Thanks, Neil. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Really.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. All right. So we'll be right back. And again, thanks for James Balsamo for coming on, and check out Acid Bath Productions. All kinds of cool stuff. And I really do like these action figures. Not just because he's here.
Hey, what's up? This is Jason Lee Halden, writer and director of Deathgasm. You're listening to Without Your Head.